now has a business bank account. Ooh.
Okay.
I am making moves.
That's what we got.
CEO. I took my grandsons with me, right? And I'm like, look at my card. I'm a boss.
Let's go.
Already. Y'all
Good
better
to see
ask.
it.
Yeah, ask somebody if you don't know. Already. Y'all better Yeah, I told them, I said, oh, y'all not working for anybody. I'm getting ready to alley oop. I'm going to set y'all up. Y'all going to be fine. Y'all going to be running stuff.
That's you know what I'm saying? That's the only way. We got to normalize. We got to
Changing the
normalize.
narrative. Changing the narrative.
Yes, man.
That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to be changing the narrative. I do my best to get on this thing and not play in my hair after I get on, but I do it every time. I try not to.
Don't worry about it.
Embrace it. It's mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Let me share this link for all the people who've been missing us, huh? I was headed to the acre last week to water. I was remembering all day, and then I headed out for the acre. You sent the message. I'm like, oh, no. I
You know
don't
me.
miss.
I'm trying to get back consistent, but from that, the whole day with them, and then it go, and then everything else I do in between all that, I
Yeah.
just been like drained. But I had to pick up my energy back up because I got to get back on. The,
Yeah.
it just comes with the territory. You're gonna do some stuff. You have to be possible to really, you know, have the impact you want.
Yeah.
I had to get on myself, and like I would do if I was working for the. He wouldn't care about it. You still got to punch these hours in. So if I'd had to punch an extra hour podcast, I'll do it. So I have to just start doing it for myself.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's all good. Um, I think it's when you lose the desire to do it that there becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, um, I put it on my calendar now, so I'll get the reminders. I hadn't had that. I'm like, and I'm transitioning. As I'm trying to. I think the last time we talked, it was like, nah, I want it all. I want it all, and you know, I had that kind of day today. I had my morning routine based on what's his baby name? Precious Azari. Anyway, based on a new book. So I can't emphasize people reading and it's just something that you see and you say, oh, if you have the thought that you might need that, go on and get it. Or
Yeah.
however you get it. So, I'll start a book and the first couple of pages or whatever, it might be an action step that really changes how I show up and how productive I can be. And so with this book is that's the way it was. Here the baby name, Precious Azuri. I'm probably butchering her last name, but I got the first name right, Precious.
So we got.
Beautiful young lady that works with Mimi Styles. And Mimi does together. They do phenomenal community work. Just, phenomenal. It's really no other way to say it. And so I saw that this young lady, who is Mimi's best friend, wrote a book, and it was the Faith Focus Formula. And so I'm going, yeah, I want to do it all, but my time management off, my focus, my something's off. And so I got the book and I started the book. And so far, I'm almost at chapter 5, and they're really short chapters, but they're powerful kind of instructions. So I'm looking and applying what I see in the book. And yesterday I said, okay, like, you want a morning routine, get it done. Do it. Stop. And you can do what it is. You put your mind to, like, for real, based on, just who you are, what you know about yourself, what you believe about others. And this is kind of coming from the book. So I said I wanted to start my morning routine. What I normally do is I wake up, I get up, and I get back into bed, right? Because
Yeah.
I can go back to sleep. Some people like, I can't go back to sleep. I don't know about that life.
So
I can go back to sleep.
yeah.
But it really cost me. I don't have to go back to sleep. So it was get up, do your morning routine, which included part of her book and writing some things down. And it was amazing that just from that book, hey, just do it. Write it tonight, do it tomorrow. Not do it tomorrow, think about it the next day and maybe never get it done. So that was powerful to me. So I started my day off like that. Then I went to my computer. I worked on Liberation Now. Then it was books that I wanted to have mailed out last week. I'm like, no, I'm getting ready to get it done. I got my little books together so I can mail those. And then I had all of my paperwork ready to open my bank account. I went and took care of that, right? Then it was a training or phone call or something I had to sit on. That was like 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. I got my grands with me. And so we were going to play and we going to Mr. Gaddy's because I like Mr. Gaddy's. I like to play and have fun and just all you can eat. I ain't gonna say nothing else. So my husband, and four of the grands, we went to Mr. Gaddy's and had a ball. Left Mr. Gaddy's, did what I had to do, had another meeting, did a little more work, ready for the podcast. The phone was acting stupid, but we got that straight.
Mm.
But today was a great example of I can do it all.
Oh yeah.
I get to see my babies. I was with them yesterday. Nothing can replace, and part of in the book too, it's like I need to begin to say, um, am I will I persevere? So it's a sentence that I'll say before I start anything. Am I willing to persevere to the end? Am I going to do it? Am I going to complete it or whatever? So yesterday, nothing could replace the time I spent at summer camp. I can have it all, Tony. And I appreciate you. You like, look, whatever time you give, you just send me a text. And I know I got to see my babies. I can't just send a text and tell y'all whatever. I got to see my babies because they are, when I came in yesterday, I was tired. Jay had slept in, kind of. I had to wake him up, I think. And when I got in there, quite a few of the babies was tired too. But then we handled what we had to. We got energy from one another. And I had a phenomenal time. Sometimes, I just hope they had some fun too. But if they didn't, I had a good time. I had a good time. And so, yeah, I just remember our last time we was together. I told you, Tony, I want it all. And I'm trying to figure out how to have it all.
Yeah, you can
I
do it.
want it all. Yeah.
Persevere is just pushing through it because there's gonna be times where you feel like this too much or can I handle having it all. And
Yeah.
those are just natural feelings. But through it's kind of like what they used to say about exercising. I hate exercising, right? But I always feel good after I tell myself to go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a situation.
Yeah, I need to meet the young lady with the yoga. Now, all that extra stuff y'all was doing, I don't know, but I'll
Um,
swear that
yeah,
look like y'all did some extra.
oh yeah, we did a lot of extra. The yoga was like that was the ending in the part for me.
Okay, I'll be there at
But
the end.
no, I told her that I want to do like big, big studio situation in Round Rock, but I told her I want to come down in Temple, do like just the yoga part, just the introduction of how to just meditate, yoga, stretch, type of.
Yes,
So we're setting it up. We got a lot of stuff coming after
yes.
summer camp
Okay.
in. You're gonna probably see about 5 events a week out of there.
What?
Weekend events, all kind of stuff. We setting up all kind of stuff. We
Look,
pretty
what?
much from August to about
Yeah.
October is already pretty much full weekly.
Yes.
Yeah, so we
That
about
sounds
we're about to take it to the next level. We just got the board for the resources.
okay.
5 of us, so we got that together. Just we got it's a lot coming down the pipeline. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's getting easy on me because I've been doing what I've been doing for so many years that even though it's a lot of work now, it's becoming easier because I got people data
That's cool.
that's in the day to day with me. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a difference. It
Makes
really does.
people that support me and do what they can or whatever, and that's great. That. But when you wake up and go to sleep knowing you got a team that's with you on every decision,
Powerful.
it's just different. I never had that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's so awesome.
yeah, so
Yes.
things going on, and the
Well,
camp is camp been great. But what I had posted, what I named it today is just talking about about youth, and that comes from the camp, right? Like
uh-huh.
we got then we got some teens in the second room. So in that teen room, I have ran across certain amount of number of ones that I ain't never had in my camp before. I ain't never see your youth league before, but these are the kids I've been looking for.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got kids, it's like, and a couple of them ain't, but they have came under my mentorship through the people that's in camps. Talk to this guy, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we're having a lot of conversations. I had I had a conversation with today that's not part of the camp, but part of the mentorship that we starting, right?
Okay.
It's exciting,
Uh-huh.
but it's I ain't gonna say sad. I ain't gonna say sad. But it's overwhelming because like me and you talk all the time. We know our community needs a lot, right? We always talk
Yes.
about it, and
Yes.
it's kind of like when I was to the Valor guys, the security company. We know that people get stuff happens every day, right? Like we know
Mhm.
this in the back of our mind. We don't really have it always at the front of our mind because if it haven't happened to you personally, it's not really at the front of your mind. But in the back of your mind, you know that every day somebody gets kidnapped, this and that. But for having a conversation with them, I realized no 40 seconds. And I'm like, hold on, we've been on this live for like an hour and some. So how many black women we were just talking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes you look at something that you already know even
Different.
deeper. Like, hold on, I'm not even taking it as serious as I thought. I knew it was serious, and it as serious until you really think about it.
Yes.
So the teams I'm mentoring, think of that again. Like I started the CEO Youth League for teams like about and all that for teams like this. And you know what we've been getting. We get the little kids, this. I love that because the reason why I deal with all kids, and I know some people deal with younger ones, some people deal with the little older ones, whatever. But to me, they're all in need. The young ones need us to. We need to catch them before they get really traumatized by society. The teens already been traumatized and they're already programmed a certain way to kind of unlearn, relearn, and show them it's a better way. And then the
Mm-hmm.
older kind of like stuck in. Now it's even harder. The older they get, the harder it is to get them to see that it's another way, and the way we live in is just is fugazi. So that I got a couple now that's just like one, he's not part of the count, but he's unchipped through the young lady that's in count. 14, couple
Mm-hmm.
two gun charges already.
Really?
Uh, big shootouts, all at 14, and I did a lot at 14, but I never did a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like people
Mm-hmm.
know that my story. I made a lot of money. I did a lot of illegal. So I did 14, but it wasn't never to the violence part. I always stayed out the way and just got to the money. That was about my.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting up here talking to him today, and I'm talking to one of his friends. We put on face this and that, and these little kids with guns in their hands, smoking joints, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
What a parent said, "What's this?" But not even talking about all that. The is like they told one of them told me like we never had no program like what you got. Had no
Mm-hmm.
older homies that's willing to guide us in a different direction. Like when you 14, OG is 17, you are already going down the wrong road.
Yeah, that sounds a
that,
little.
don't even, that don't even go together. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mhm.
your OG is still saying.
Yeah.
But to hear these kids the way they talk about just shoot, we gonna meet up, do this, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like they don't even understand how valuable their life is right now.
Yeah.
I heard about the one in Temple that, and it happened to be one of the guys I'm mentoring, friend, and that was like, he was like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, my cousin just told me that a 16-year-old was trying to break in a car. God came outside and shot him. And they was
But
like,
that's what's happening now. I'm telling you. So
and I'm like, why do y'all do that? Oh, we just get bored at night. Our moms be asleep. We just get out the house. We just bored, look cool. So robbing, shooting, and all that stuff is what you do in your boredom. But the
mhm.
trying to say, how much money you think was in that car? It was like probably some change or whatever, but we just gotta see. You ain't gotta just see nothing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
I mean, if
it's the
they
mind,
had,
it's the
if
mindset.
if number one, if and I want to tell you that your your volume, I'm hearing is breaking up a lot, and so I don't know if it's something you want to adjust for the show or I don't know. But if they were to open up to us and share some, just on the real with that, then they would get to hear the voice of wisdom that says, "Well." You just want to know, but you could just be gone. Think about, your mom. Think about all the people that love you when you're no longer here. So is that really important for you to see what's in that car? If you think about the pain that's going to come from, your injury, your loss of life, if somebody has to take care of you for the rest of your life, you're sitting in the woods. Is it really? Is it really? Or is it something else that's making you do that? Is it the peer pressure? What, for lack of, is it the peer pressure? You
Yeah,
trying to fit in? Why you trying to fit in? What you
there's a
trying
lot.
to fit in to? Who are you? Do you know who you are? So for me, like with the camp, it's really getting in touch with who we are. When I did Taste of Africa, even this weekend, I would say Kemet to people, right? I took my chessboard that I purchased when I was in Kemet, and I
Mhm.
say Kemet. They had no idea what Kemet is. It's your history. It's your ancient history. And then I love my sister Smooches Smooches. But she calls me today and she's talking and she's like, we went to the medieval place and yeah, they really like that. And I'm like, that's not who they are. It's not their history. It's not their mythology. It's not who they are. And so if we don't know who we are, we get what we get. I believe um culture is the answer. We got to know who we are. And so the babies don't know who they are and they just follow and I think it's the Nation of Islam. I know when one of the members came down here, it's little Nur, I don't want to say that. That sounds demeaning and I would not want to do that at all. But Minister Nuri Muhammad, I believe he's out of Indianapolis. And he came down and he told the story that I've heard told before about these young elephants. And if young elephants don't have some old elephants to tell them what to do, they get ready to echo fool. So
Mhm.
that's what we see. Somebody like you and whoever else we have to build the opportunities, and then we have to bridge the gap, walk over to the other side and offer that peace offering.
Yeah.
Period. You can't expect the young folks to do it. They don't even know to do it. They young folks.
No, I definitely get that. That's why I wrote the book. It says just
Right.
saying that we fussing at them, we set up for them to change what they're doing. So yeah, I definitely get that. And my whole thing is, and I told a couple of them today, do we have time to save them?
Yes.
That's what I worry because
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't have the time that I had to change. Right, a lot of my partners I
Mhm.
lost death to double life sentences because we were all making decisions. I
Right.
was blessed. I was blessed with the time to change myself,
Mhm.
and that's what I was trying to explain to them. Like, you're 14. I'm trying to get you to your 20s, mid 20s, to have time to be the man that you can be. But if you
Mhm.
die at 18, you never got to even get close to that person you could have became, and
Right.
that's about a lot of our black boys, especially, never get to the age where they can change. That's why they're young, they die.
But
And that's
Tony, what I've heard, and even I've heard at least
I'm
one
sorry.
of my own say that they don't even have an expectation of living past a certain age.
Oh yeah,
Where
for
is
sure.
that? Where, how does that happen? And I guess I guess it's the media, whatever they're exposed to, is something that they're being exposed to that doesn't even give them the hope of 25, 30, 35, 40, growing old.
Yeah, it's their life. It's their home life. They're not worried about that. That's the last thing on their mind. They worry about today. Can I look like Doug, or can I look like the biggest G, or can I whatever? And I
You know
straight
what
up,
was mm-hmm.
it's, it's a dumb way to live, but I understand it because I lived that. I tell them today, like I started
Okay.
telling what I was doing at 14. I'm like, y'all ain't even doing what I mean, besides violent stuff. But as far as just getting money and doing all that type of stuff, y'all team.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And I was reckless, and I was people all the time. I used to look forward to going to the penitentiary. Only
Yeah, I
because
know.
only because my big homies was in go see them. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
want to go see
so I
him.
understand it. And I didn't even come from it was a broken home. It was a single mother, but I didn't come from a mother that was on drugs or there was just reckless. I just was in a society that taught me that this is better. It's better as far as financially and what I felt as a man, because at home with single mothers and we looking for other masculinity to hang around. The only thing you can hang around when you're in certain parts is out there on the streets.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Field. That's why we love football field and street corners, because that's where
Right.
most boys just looking for masculinity. That's the only places you're gonna find it.
So the dynamics for me, or the dynamics that I can see, is we have young men on computers for hours, and they interact with other young men. They have it where they're playing the game. I can hear, them talking to each other across this game thing. Then we have young men who are not playing the games. They're out in the streets, but the things that they're doing out in the streets are not conducive to longevity, to them being around for a while. Their behaviors are extremely risky. So, in looking at just those two groups, we're losing the potential that we need to be harnessing. It is so very important that we do that. And then I guess quote unquote good kids, whatever that is, um, because maybe, like you're saying, the femininity, I gotta go find some male energy. I gotta, and then maybe overcompensate. Maybe that's how I end up. I'm with my partner, and my partner says, my partner says this or that. I remember just recently I was telling somebody I didn't have like close friends when I finished ninth grade, moved to a new city. So I wasn't with the people that I had been in school with the whole time. And I think it was a new girl that came to the high school I was in. She was going to pick me up for a basketball game. And oh man, she had some marijuana. And she was like, "Do you smoke?" I'm like, "Who? I don't know what to answer." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm lucky to even be in this car with you. What is you talking about?" And I had to pretend like if I knew what to do with what she gave me. It was just too stupid. So anyway, then after that, I didn't like. I'm like, no, I can't trust people because I don't want to be put in that position again. Because that wasn't, But so I never had, I never had the need to be in a group or a clique because I was real comfortable with me and doing me. And then when I reached out, I kind of, okay, here's somebody, they might be cool. And I'm like, no, that's not cool for me. Because I
Mm-hmm.
had some aspirations. And I think at Taste of Africa, again, it was a beautiful family that had a vending booth right behind me. And they had shirts. What I loved about the shirts, it was like the letter I, the letters LUV, the letter BLK, and the letters WLK. women. So I love Black women and I love Black men. I love Black family. And then it was one they didn't make shirts for, but it was like um, the Black part. That's the part for me, or something like that. And it was a family. They had at least 6 children. It seemed like, and this was the lady. I bought a little bag, and she was like, "We do these by hand. This is a family production right here." She was very proud, very, very, very proud of that. Um, but while I'm talking to them, that historical perspective, that just knowing a little bit about our history, it's not there. And if we don't make a concerted effort to do so, I mean, you got people fighting and writing laws and stuff for us not to know who we are. And it's not anyone's responsibility but ours to make those things happen.
Yeah.
I know that we bridging the gap. So I saw, I don't know if you saw the video, the young man was dancing with one of his sons, Maverick. I got a chance to meet Maverick and learn his name. He's dancing with Maverick, father, son. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then the father says to me, he's teaching me. And I'm like, yeah, it got to go that way, Tony. We got to be humble enough to learn from them babies, because they're living in a different world in different times that we cannot connect with unless they connect us. And then there's no way for them to reach up and get what we have if we're not willing to share it. And I think that's, some of how we can reach more of them. You had somebody in camp that brought a friend. So they'll come in a click. They'll come if somebody else, oh, you there? You good? It's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go see. But when they go see, we gotta be real, like you are. We gotta be real with them. They gotta see real. They've seen fake. They've seen people who have not reached a point of understanding the dynamics of how this society operates, that understand that there is an attack on us as a people. We're not even, people, they don't even want us to survive. Our medical care, everything is different for us. If you really know about it. Mass incarceration. So I was doing my genealogy. I go, sometimes I take a little time and I'm able to go through and try to find the genealogy. So I know my great great grandfather, Henry Odom, was out of Fulton County, Georgia. So it was something I was reading in one of our genealogy books about the slave owner, Pace. I know it was like the last name that this person like kept the surname, where other people didn't keep that surname from the enslaver, right? And so they said Pace was the last name. And so I looked up, I Googled, I think I could Google anything. Slave owners in Georgia, from Georgia, and last name Pace. And there's this whole, pages and pages about the wickedness. So it's right after the emancipation, and in the written in what we talk about, but now I'm getting to read it in pure life. That the only enslavement is if you're convicted of a crime. Now this Joker Pace was so bad. He get a friend or two, they see a black man and they tell him, well, we know this happened and whether it happened or it didn't happen, sign your name right here. And you give us 75 days in this labor, and then you can go on about your way, right? The black man, I got these people up over me. I can't really do anything. They saying this, and I don't know exactly what they saying, and the legal this and that. And they got me trapped up in the system and over here. And they would enslave us again. And then once they trapped us, they would keep us, because now the conditions are whatever they are. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we think, oh, we're going to celebrate the end of enslavement, when the enslavement never ended, the criminalization of us as a people. So I visited women in prison, right? And it's no different than men in prison. Prison is prison. You lose your rights and you work for free. And that's exactly what was happening in Georgia with the enslaver Pace and his crew. And it was just so vile. And we talk about the trauma that we experience now. That trauma from then is still with us. I say it is still with us. We may do it without acknowledging it. We do a good job of masking it over and playing pretend. That's what I say. Because if not, um, we would all be willing to connect as a people on some level. But it seems like, for me, it seemed like a rejection of us being a people. Can we just be a people? What other group doesn't want to be their people group? No other group has had the experience that we've had in America.
No.
There's Bam. Hey, Bam. Has our culture in a headlock. And we got to get out.
Yeah, and some of it ain't got our culture in the head like no more. Some just make sure our head is up under their arms. We make sure they got our head, even if they let us go. They like, nah, keep it tighter.
Now, now the ones that get me, because you like, do we want to be free? Because I remember we're supposed to be talking a little about that. But for
Oh
me,
yeah,
it's the one that's saying, hey, I'm ready. Can you headlock me next?
yeah, yeah.
That's irritating. You're like, who, me next? I want to be in the headlock. No, you don't. You want the freedom that as you asked before. What are we gonna talk about? We were told we didn't talk about. Do we really want to be free?
And the answer is no. Most of us, because we. I don't want to hear you. Yes, but their everyday life shows you that they don't. So I just look out. They say don't go out what they say they do.
Yeah.
Go every day the way you operate every day. Like I was telling God the other day, I don't have my life is the protest, so I don't have to wait till a new killing, or new something happen. Every day I live is a protest. You know, if a new event
No.
happens or not, I'm still mad about what happened 60s, 70s, and before then. So I don't need nothing new to get me re-mad again. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
tells me just the way we live, the way we operate, the way we deal with each other, the way we do business with each other, or the lack of business with each other, the way the of collaboration and support and all that shows me. Nah, we want exactly what we get, and we gonna get exactly what we gonna get as long as we operate under those terms. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I'm excited. I believe that we can change the narrative.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe we are responsible for doing our part. Um, at 61, I know it's a lot of people that left here way before me, and I'm still here. And I'm packaged the way I'm packaged for a reason, and I'm going to be true to how I got here and my experiences where I am. And so I'm good. I'm still ready. Like, my life is a protest. Hopefully that protest is not the stereotypical protest. I'm not in the streets, but I'm trying to get in the hearts and the minds of my people so that
Yeah.
they will be desirous of something more, that they will know they are deserving of so much more. We are phenomenal people.
How about you not in the streets? I just seen you last 2 weeks in the streets, going live in the streets doing stuff with the community, for the community.
You
So
don't,
don't
you you
don't
you don't know, you
streets.
don't know where I came from. You don't know where
You
I
know.
came from. I haven't done the rally and pissed the whole. Oops, sorry. My son used to think that was a bad word when I say pissed off. I don't think it's a bad word, but when I upset people, even to the NAACP, because I'm like, look, jobs, justice, and education. I understand. When I came to Texas with a degree, and the only job I could get was the one where back then, when we still had some community, was the VFW 9191. That was my landing ground. They said, "Come on in here, we give you a job." Okay. Until I moved on to the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. There was a base, there was a place for me to go. But nothing else warranted. I had no idea what I was dropping into when I got to Texas, when I got to Killeen, Texas, you know. And so nothing, there's not a lot difference. Jobs, justice, and education. Those are still the things that we're working with. You know, your house of resources, wealth is gangster, CEO Youth League. Without the economics, I might not even understood it fully, but I'm still learning. Nearly Fuller. So jobs, economic opportunities, that's the only way we're going to move forward and change what we're experiencing. I don't want anybody to have to experience what I've had to experience as it relates to when you can be promoted the old school ways. Because I thought you work hard and you get promoted, you do well, your numbers look good. No, it's who you know and who you know, how well you know them.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of foolishness. And we have to, or I look forward to the day where we build what we once had, a more righteous way of living. And when I say that, maybe somebody might say, "Well, we're righteous. What that mean?" Righteous mean just real simple stuff. How you want to be treated. That's how you gonna treat somebody else. How
Yeah.
how 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 what opportunity do you want the opportunity to be based on who you know, or do you want the opportunity to be based on what's best for us? What's best for this company? What's best for this school? You see what I'm saying? So now you're not tripping because so and so moved into this position in this organization. They was the best person. They gonna pull it along. Find your spot. There's a spot for you. But it might not have been that one at this time without falling all out and having fits and I'm mad and now I'm throwing snowballs. Well, this Texas, we probably ain't get no snowballs. But anyway, I grew up in the north. We had snowballs.
Yeah, you might get one every few years. So,
I
but
digress. But
real,
yeah, I mean, it's still it is what it is. I don't, and I think sometimes people like, "Well, we made a lot of progress." Yeah, we've made some progress, but until we've all arrived, we one of us, what does that really mean? I don't know.
I think when they say progress, we're higher because I be trying to look for I mean. I guess progress is they not just really because they still doing it, but not just as openly without. I don't know. I struggle to find this progress on land we did coming out of slavery. We own less that now than we did when a lot of those decade or two out of slavery. Like our ancestors that fresh out of slavery accomplished more than us. So I think we feel good. We have more millionaires than ever, some billionaires we never, than ever. So we got some things individually. People, I don't know if we got the kind of progress we think. I think because we see a rich football player, a rich this person, a rich that person, you be like, oh man, we done came a long way. But as a whole, we're at the same and worse. I think we're worse because we're less. Back then, we had to be together, right? We had no
Mhm.
choice, and that made us strong. And they figured that out. Like, hold on, certain ones opportunities and pull them away. The smartest ones or the brightest ones, the ones pull them out. You know, and they're gonna work our businesses and they're gonna make us the billions of dollars, and we gotta dump them some millions. We have to. Don't give us half of it back because they're gonna buy the fancy cars and the big houses and stuff. So we're gonna dump. We're gonna give a big chunk of that right back because of the way they want to live. But as a whole, better. I don't see it. I'm looking for somebody to kind of like show me how we are as a the whole, how we better. But I think it's just something to feel good. Yeah, we better. They not openly killing us, but they still killing us. But I guess you just not gonna walk body hanging and can't, and that's not gonna happen. But we still see people just lay it on the floor dead. So I don't know. So as a whole, me, I'm always thinking as a whole, saying because I can always say that I'm doing better. I know some people that's doing good, and it's all that's true. But as a whole, they got us so individualized. Even the ones that's doing good is not coming back to the community
That's what
building.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Uh,
they got us thinking like that. Like, right, I'm doing mine. I'm doing mine. And like a lot of people tell me all the time, I love. Like I have black men tell me that every day. I couldn't do that. I ain't got the patience to do this with our community. And my response is always, I understand that. That's why our position it is.
yeah.
You
I
know,
know
I
you.
understand.
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
You were saying that like we had no choice but to be together, but I think it was bigger. It was in addition to that, we chose to be together. We chose to be together at the same time. When you think of the culture of enslavement, again, we was all we had. We were still connected to either being indigenous because we knew and understood that we were, because that information was passed down. If we weren't separated to the point where we couldn't even find that root, and that is, a part of what it was. But I believe that, we kept the uh, connection to Africa, and that we identified, the majority of us identified as African for a period of time. If not, we wouldn't be considered African Americans. We knew for a long time who we were. And then, as you said, with the I don't know, we hate to do this, but the civil rights move and the integration it cost us. It took us a couple of steps back. Um in the fight for civil rights, when you look at Muhammad Ali and some of the sports stars, the people who had that money, they were still they were still, for lack of another term, African minded. They still understood us as a collective. And it's somehow when everything switched that the collective became unpopular. There, being African, being black, where black meant ghetto. I get real serious. Somebody's like, "Oh, that's so ghetto." Okay, help me understand what you're saying. What is ghetto? Where'd you get that from? How do you what is that word? Where'd that come from? What does it mean? Because I don't want you to equate, me with that term unless it means something positive. Show me, because I'm positive, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm not that. But a lot of times when people hear that word, they equate it to something negative. And so when all of the negative, not just from, okay, the people that are in Africa are starving and they're the way, they put things to us. So that was negative, right? They walk around without clothes. They live in huts, blah, blah, whatever, right? So that was very negative, right? So we didn't want to be them. And then if you when you're here, the portrayals of us was always negative. Just even the term, it just drives me crazy. Remember, I put something on, was like, once you see, you can't unsee.
Mm-hmm.
And so the moment, you got angel food cake, when somebody tell you angel food cake, what? It's white. Devil's food cake is black. Quit tripping with me. Justice is black. Health is black. White is some kind of disease. They flipping the script and playing with your mind. You better know what you know.
Yeah.
Okay. And share what you know, so that they can quit playing with our minds and we can get back to being so we can know who we are. That I'm just gonna say that we know who we are. And I'm not saying, oh, I've always known these things. I haven't. There was a long time. I remember when I started working for KISD. You got your professional development, and then they want to talk about their lineage and where they're from. And I'm from Ireland. I'm from wherever, right? But a black American, an American born black person, whatever, however, what did I have to say? They knew exactly what they were doing when they would say that in that setting. They weren't yet that accustomed to having very many black teachers, not around here, wasn't even very many. It's a lot more now, but at that time it wasn't. But now, if I sat in that room, I'll tell you my heritage, and you won't like it. And I'll tell you how strong we are, how resilient we are, and how we still here, and we're still making moves that can't be made by other people because they haven't had the experiences we've had. We've had to make nothing. We had to make something out of nothing. Okay. We had to defy the odds, being an educational system that was against us, and then still kick butt and come out at the top. Don't play with us. We better know who we are and begin to move that way. And then I know it's getting late, but then the last thing that I'm I don't know, we talked about it before, but we talking about it this week. We got a hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we got a hotel. If y'all can fly a Steelers flag and the Chicago Bears, and if you can be on Team Jay Z, I can be on We Got a Hotel. That's a black owned hotel. I'm black. We got a hotel. Okay,
Yes, we
that's
do.
what's happening there. This boy.
Yes,
Uh,
we do.
hold on, I'm gonna do this.
You good? Yeah, go on. Yes, we do, man. Shout out to Hussein, the whole crew, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, Regis, everybody that's part of that friendship and that just was clean, man. Salute to y'all guys, man. And yeah, it's us. Don't- they knocked it off on me. You know what I'm saying? It's that easy, and that's how we gotta think. So, tonight I just wanted to talk about just how you, because I'm really trying to figure it out, man. And do we have? We can't save everybody, but do we have time? The ones that I really get close to, I'll be asking myself, do I got time? That's what's got me thinking and about the, when I get out this, I'll be working on more events and stuff because we have to come up with these solutions for our people. And can't say I can't do everything. I'm only one person, but we're gonna do what we can and make the impact ever that we can. You got it.
All right, you gave them closing words. You let them know what's really going on.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about youth and how I just be feeling like, the time, you can't save everybody and stuff, and I get that, but that's what I've been asking myself all day, having conversations with those youngsters. Do I really got time to save them?
As
Or
many as you can, yes.
yeah, man. So that's really all I was thinking about. Because even like I told them, I said, man, me, y'all gonna talk a certain way, but it ain't about that. It's about this time of night right now.
Yeah.
When there's no mentor around, mom about to go to sleep. You on your phone making little videos, talking, going back and forth with other dudes that you don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
have these conversations with, and a few of them are gone, and a few of them just they'll write me talking about, oh man, I should have listened, but it's too late now. I mean, it ain't too late for your. Well, some of it is because when you're doing 30, 40 years and you 20, 30 years old, it's crap. But so that's all I was thinking about. Yeah, it's we almost close to an hour anyway. You give us, you always got to do the club. You know what I'm saying? We always give you the last word of the night. So you out how you want to end it off, saying what you want to say.
All I want to say is this: we all have our part, and do not minimize your part. Take it very seriously. I'm not talking to Tony. I'm talking to we. I'm talking to us. We all have our part. It looks different, it feels different, but please find it and do it. When you touch one life of it, and especially a young person, that's just not one life. It was somebody in my life that created this little thing. Well, that's again, I don't want to be, demeaning even unto myself. That created this chick right here, this girl right here. And this girl right here is living that life because somebody thought enough to say something, to say things along the way. Be that person to that person, to your family, to yourself. And y'all, let's, change the narrative. Let's change the narrative. yes, it can be done, but everybody has to do their part. And so what me and Tony gonna do, okay, and anybody that's rolling with us, we gonna do our part and we're gonna do it out loud. We're gonna do it out loud so y'all can see it, be encouraged, and do your part. And then we just gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate one another because we are a celebratory people. Because we have so much to be grateful for. When we look back over where we've come to where we are now, we will take advantage of that and the opportunities and honor our ancestors and all of those that came before us that fought so that we could be here. I am because they are, and so are you. So
Great words to end on. And I wrote down, do we really want freedom? So next week we're gonna finish that conversation.
okay, that works for me.
Well, thank
Ooh,
you. You have a good night, and I'll see you
you
tomorrow.
see you tomorrow.
All right, y'all have a good night. Appreciate you, everybody that tapped in. Talk to you later.